Hello, this is Overlord Bo, and today we'll be covering the upcoming Pan-Asian ships, the Tier 9 battleship, the Louchuan, and the Tier 9 cruiser, Mengchong. Both ships will be released during the Three Kings event as a random bundle rewards. Each bundle costs 1,500 doubloons, and there are 53 bundles total. Alternatively, you can buy these ships directly in an Admiral pack that includes a special 10-point captain for each ship, and 30 days of premium and blue boosters among other rewards. While I will be covering my recommended builds for these ships, I'll only briefly go over the ship stats as they are direct clones of already existing ships, which is the Agir and the Lion. So with that out of the way, let's start talking about the Mengchong. So the Mengchong cruiser is pretty much the Tier 9 Agir complete copy. You guys can look at the build on the top right. Take a look at that. Now the Mengchong is a direct clone of the German ship cruiser Agir, sharing completely identical stats and playstyle. She is a powerful close-range cruiser with powerful AP shells and durable armor. Enemies who get close risk getting torped to death by her 6-kilometer torpedoes. She is definitely well suited for ranked and brawls due to her ability to 1v1 other ships. Now, ideally, I'd say she wants to get into other people's faces, show up on their broadside, and become an unkillable prick as she runs them down. Out of the two, I would say the Mengchong is definitely more fun play style to play, more brawly, get up and personal with torpedoes. Then I would say the Lion, which I'll be talking about in the next replay. The Mengchong shares the identical gameplay to the Agir, so pretty much a Tier 9 match. But if you're in Tier 9 matching or below, you can play super aggressive. But if you're in a super ship matchmaking, you definitely want to play more passive, spam more HE on targets. But if you get broadsides, definitely use the Agir's AP. The Agir has some very powerful AP. Definitely would suggest using on broadside targets or broadside cruisers as well. Broadside cruisers will definitely deck the hulls with just absolutely destroying them if you actually do see, which of course you will. It's pretty typical at this point. You see a broadside cruiser. Now, something that I do like about this current event is that the captains actually sound like Pan-Asian commanders, which I don't like it. I think it's pretty cool, but not everyone's going to share the same excitement as me about it. But I do definitely like the fact that there are special Pan-Asian commanders for this, and you also get a lot of cool little goodies as well if you do decide to get the Admiral pack. But at the same time, though, they are clones of the Agir. So if you already have the Agir, I don't really see a point in you getting this ship. But if you don't have the Agir, you can always get this ship and have a nice premium for the Pan-Asian line. You can grind your commander XP on, or your new commanders for that line. You can also grind credits with the Tier 9. I'm trying to figure out what else benefits are there. Well, you can grind credits, which is always nice. Tier 9 matchmaking for credits is always really nice. With the upcoming event for the Halloween event coming up in Halloween, that's going to be going on in October, as far as it looks like, it's going to be that you're able to bring in Tier 9 ships into the operation. So you are going to be able to grind credits while in that operation, which would be a lot of fun for sure. So I plan to see a lot of very brawly ships entering that operation. We'll definitely have to see how that turns out in that regard. I was playing some of the new Halloween operation a few days ago during the playtest, and I had just a major ball with it. It was so much fun to play. It is currently, though, being tested on the easy mode, so it's kind of a little bit too easy. But whenever they test it on the hard difficulties, or they just have it where it's actually on like the normal and hard difficulties and very hard, we'll have to see whenever that actually comes out. But for the Mengchong playstyle, or the Agir playstyle, it's pretty simple. Normally, you can be very aggressive in your Tier 9 or below match. It has amazing bow and aft armor, and it's very hard to sit out of the gear as well, because it has the stereotypical German turtleback armor, which is very, very, very strong. The Agir does come with 6-kilometer surface hydro for ships, and it does come with I believe it's 3.5 kilometer hydro for the sail hydro for the torpedoes. If you guys could let me know in the comments about that, if you could confirm that for me, I would appreciate it. Now, the Mengchong also gets aerial ASW, which is super nice as well, since, you know, most of the German cruisers don't get aerial ASW, so it's always a plus with that as well. It's always a huge plus. You do get a very nice healthy heal for the Agir, which is only increases its tankiness tenfold, which is awesome. Super cool as well. I'm trying to remember, no, the Agir wasn't the secondary build cruiser that they nerfed. No, it was the Siegfried that was. Because I was trying to remember like which cruiser was the secondary build one back in the day, which was the Siegfried during its testing. It was a secondary build cruiser back. This is like way back before they even did they did the commander rework. This was years and years and years and years ago. That was a very long time ago. But no, it wasn't the Agir, it was the Siegfried that was the secondary one, but then they changed it during its testing to be a more sniper cruiser, the Siegfried, because it has some of the most accurate dispersion in the game for cruisers. It's insanely accurate. It's amazing. The Siegfried. That was amazing, super amazing. Now, I was mentioning in my build earlier, my build's pretty much a stereotypical cruiser build, building the tankiness, build a little bit into DPM, but mostly you're just building into more DPM and survivability. It's pretty typical. You definitely don't want to do a lighthouse build with this ship. You can build into secondaries if you want to go full brawler. So in the module section, you can put on the secondary module 3, put on the secondary one for that increased secondary range and secondary accuracy. But since cruisers don't really get any secondary skills in the commander skill tree, it's not really super worthwhile to do it on too many ships unless the secondaries already have like an insane range, kind of like the Schroeder. The Schroeder already comes with an insane secondary range, which is super nice. But the Agir also can do the same thing as well, since it does also have a very nice secondary range as well. But it doesn't have the same concealment gap that the Schroeder has. So the Schroeder has a 10.3 concealment. It's like right around, I think it's 10.3, and then the secondaries are 10 kilometers, so there's like a 0.3 kilometer gap between the secondaries and the concealment, while the Agir, it has around a 12, I believe a 12 kilometer concealment, and its secondaries only go up to, I think it's 10, maybe. If somebody could let me know on that, I would appreciate that, because I don't have the build in front of me, unfortunately, while I was recording this. I kind of had to rush record this, so I do apologize for that. I'm getting ready for my vacation coming up, and I'm having to like do a lot of prep work into making sure everything's ready for that trip. I also had a loss in the family recently, which also is yeah, it's not a lot of fun. So definitely keep your thoughts and prayers for my family. My dad's taking it pretty hard, so I would appreciate that. So I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. Anyway, moving on. I would definitely say, like, if you don't want to buy the Mengchong and you just want to get the Agir, just get the Agir. You can get it for coal. You should be able to get the Agir for coal, I think. Is it coal you can get it for? Or let me think. I'm trying to think real quick. Yeah, you should be able to get it for coal, or you can just straight up buy the Agir. Because every single coal ship you can just buy. You could just buy them, but I don't really recommend buying coal ships. You can just get them for free. And I'm having a major brain fart. Can I actually get the gear for coal? Somebody will let me know in the comments. They'll definitely let me know. You guys always let me know. So I guess we'll figure it out then. Yeah, I wasn't sure what this guy was doing. He kind of knew I was going to come around here sooner or later. Ooh. I was a little bit concerned, though, that he was going to just W forward and try to ram me. That's kind of why I went broadside, also to get my rear guns. I was just a little bit concerned, just a smidgen. But yeah, rip him. I do really like the Pan-Asian commander that comes with this ship for both of these special event ships. I do like the commanders a lot. I don't know why, but I just love them a lot. I don't have like a particular reason. I don't know. It feels more authentic, I guess. It's like the main reason I could put it at. I think it's like more authentic, I guess. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Maybe that could be it. I don't know. But no, at this point, I decided to be super aggressive toward the Kearsarge here and the Brandenburg. This isn't really the best idea because we all know how strong the Kearsarge guns are, which it is. Kearsarge is legit. If it wasn't a hybrid, the guns themselves on the Kearsarge is already good enough, right? The guns are just redonkulously strong on the Kearsarge. Even without the planes, it's already super strong. Then you add the fact it's a hybrid, just makes it even stronger of a ship. Now, luckily, a lot of people don't know how to properly utilize the Kearsarge. The fact that it's a hybrid, some people will stay in the planes too long, or they only use the guns. They don't know how to use the planes properly. But one of the main ways to use the Kearsarge is you use the planes to spot the enemy for you to be able to use the guns, or you make the enemy turn using the plane. So like you go on the other side. So like if you would have attacked me from the south and made me turn more broadside, he would have either made it where I had to turn more broadside to his guns to dodge the airstrike itself, or I would just have to keep going straight and just put up with the attack fighter's damage, which would also hurt, because the Kearsarge's planes do hurt a lot on cruisers and battleships and other CVs, or CVs of course, but they don't really do a lot of damage to DDs. It's very hard to hit DDs with them. They're more meant for dealing with cruisers and battleships, is the main way of putting it for the Kearsarge. But yeah, this is pretty much the replay for the Mengchong or the Agir clone. I wanted to make sure I covered both the ships separately and talked about them separately, so you guys were kind of able to get a feel of the play style and kind of like why I either like it or don't like it, and about like the special commander as well. But yeah, we did a pretty decent match. 160k damage, 3 kills. Pretty decent. I was top of the team, as you know, always. Very nice, very nice. Very nice indeed. I still feel bad for that Buffalo, though. I thought for sure he would have moved out, but he kind of just sat there, so rip. Anyway, we're going to be moving on to the Louchuan now. So the Pan-Asian ship Louchuan is the clone of the British battleship Lion, and the captain build is going to be on the top right, so you guys can take a look at that while I go over the such. Now, this clone has the exact same stats and play style of the Lion, so if you enjoy playing the Lion, then you'll definitely enjoy playing the Louchuan. And again, the Louchuan also comes with its own special commander if you buy the ship from the Admiral pack, I believe, or I think if you buy the ship, it comes with it, but I don't know. Whenever the event pops up, you guys can also take a look at that as well. They haven't really told us if you buy the ship, if it comes with the commander. Most likely not. You probably have to buy the ship and the commander, or they'll have something where you can use tokens to get the captains on their own, most likely, and then you have to buy the ships. That's normally how it will go. Anyway, the Louchuan, or the Lion clone, it has the enhanced HE shells, which do tear apart DDs and angled BBs, knocking with their anti-air and secondaries while starting fires. Anyone that's played secondary ships know that British HE is some of the most painful HE in the game due to how much it knocks out your anti-air and your secondaries. We all just cry every time a salvo hits. You lose like 10% of your secondaries and like 20% of your anti-air. It's not like the HE also hits pretty hard as well, damage wise. So it's not just you getting slapped in the face with the HE that hurts. It's just they're knocking out your anti-air, they're knocking out your secondaries, and they're causing like 8k damage, and they're causing fires. It's all the like, it's just a giant just dick slap every time they throw HE at you. It's a disaster. It's super painful to fight, but it's also super fun to play as well. It's super trolly. Now, her super heal keeps the ship alive even under heavy fire. We all know the British Conqueror line with its super heals for the tier 9 and 10, so you also get the super heal as well from the Lion. However, one of the main weaknesses of the British battleships are their thin armor, which struggles against smaller shells, and also being death struck if you're not careful. I cannot tell you enough how many times I've seen British battleships going broadside thinking that super heal will save them, but you just death strike them all the way from full health to none in an enemy when you're fighting them in a battleship, because they just show you their broadside and their citadel and they're just slapped and they can't get their heal off. It's happened so many times. I've never been death struck doing the broadside like that, but I know people and have seen and I've done it to people where they just go broadside in their British BBs and they just get absolutely dunked on. And it's the funniest thing. It's like, oh yeah, I have a super heal, I'm invincible, yeah. No, you just get death struck and you're dead. So don't go broadside. If you're gonna go broadside, make sure to time it when they're shooting, and then you turn after they shoot. So you're not absolutely just destroyed in the beginning of a match and everyone's just staring at you like, why the hell are you dead already? Moving on from that, the turret angles are also notoriously bad, which is kind of a common theme around the Lion, unfortunately. She can't use all of the guns without showing broadside, so you definitely have to like do your shot, then turn, do your shot, then turn, do your shot, then turn, to make sure you're not showing your broadside all the time. Now, Louchuan plays like a typical British BB. Like I've already said, it's literally a Lion or a kiting cruiser. You just wear the ships down with HE, and you don't forget to punish broadside targets with AP, which includes battleships and cruisers. But once the enemy's weakened, you turn around and finish them off. So pretty much what you want to do is spam the hell out of HE until they're almost dead, and then you just shove your face into them and have fun and kill everything, pretty much. The British battleships aren't meant to be super aggressive. They're more meant for the longer range engagements. If you're really close to the enemy, normally you're just gonna get farmed out really quick. So you want to use your already high range and great HE shells just to keep enemies on perma fire over and over and over and over, and just keep that pressure on them over again, and you'll just have an amazing match out of it. Now, while I think the Mengchong is a slight better ship, both are fine if you're gambling on the first few containers. If you're gonna gamble for it, and maybe you'll get one, but you'll still save about 90% of your doubloons if you do it that way, if you're lucky to get them in the first few containers. But I wouldn't really do more than that. Like, you can get the Lion in the tech tree, right? You get in the tech tree, so it's just easy grind for that. And then for the Agir, you should be able to get it for coal, so you don't have to pay for that. So you can get the ship for free, the Agir for free, and then you can get the Lion for free from just grinding it simply down the lines. So if you guys are interested in the ships, I would definitely recommend that. But if you were interested in buying them for the premium camos, the premium styles, because of course these are premium ships, so they get the premium credit earning potential, commander XP earning potential, and the free XP. So you're already going to earn a lot more of that when you're playing these ships. So it's very nice for credit farming and just farming in general. Also, since they are Pan-Asian, if you're running down Pan-Asian Lions, you can hop your commanders on these ships to earn them more commander XP to level up your commanders quicker, which is super nice. Super nice. Super. Very nice indeed. But yeah, again, these ships will be available in the upcoming Three Kingdoms event, which should be starting at the end of this week, which is currently today is currently the 27th. So it'll be up by about the 29th, is my guess, around the 29th-ish. Normally these NDAs are a few days before the ships actually release, so I'm guessing around the 29th. You guys will see it on the Asia server first, and then it'll be on EU, then NA. Since Asia gets the update first for events, and then the EU will follow the NA. And you guys can let me know how you guys like it or not whenever the event actually is out. But from my own personal preference, if I'm just looking at the ships themselves, I'm a total weakness to the... If you guys were looking at the beginning of the video where I was showcasing like the up-down views, like the sky-down view, for the Mengchong, I'm definitely more of a fan of that camo and how it looks over to the Louchuan, even though I like the way they both look. But overall, I kind of like the Mengchong more, even though it's a pretty close. It's pretty close in there, pretty close. Like to where which preference I have, it's pretty close. Hope you guys are having yourself a good September month. I know it's been definitely rough with everything going on. It's definitely not the funnest month ever. It's almost Halloween as well. Hooray! And you know what Halloween means? Halloween means Halloween events for ships and a lot of other games. Then after Halloween, we got ourselves Thanksgiving. And after Thanksgiving, we have Black Friday. Yahoo! We got Black Friday, which, if you guys know, they've already introduced the new ships. We're getting the Black in the Smolensk Black. Or the Smolensk B, the black, like the Black Friday version of the ships. So hooray! We get to have so much fun with more Smolensk being put in the game. Fantastic. We are going to have a fantastic time with all of that fun and engaging Smolensk gameplay. And if you guys can't tell, I'm definitely not a big fan of the Smolensk itself. I've had my fair share of horrid getting farmed by Smolensk stories back when they were before their nerf and then after they were nerfed. They're not a very fun ship to fight. It's very painful. It's a very painful experience. I already know a lot of people as well that are already they are going to buy the Smolensk B when it comes out. I already know at least 4 or 5 people that are gonna buy it. The player population of Smolensk are gonna quadruple significantly because a lot of the old Smolensk owners aren't really playing the game that much anymore. A lot of the old collectors are not really playing the game that much anymore. So Smolensk population went down. But yeah, it's gonna be fun for sure. Also, the COTS signups are up. So we get to get some really nice COTS gameplay starting in October. That's gonna be fun. I'm definitely excited to see. We got some new COTS gameplay. That's gonna be nice. They also updated their COTS drops. So instead of it just being a drop for the weekend, it's a drop per day. So you get 1 COTS drop per weekend day. So there's a COTS drop for each Saturday and Sunday, which I consider that kind of a good thing from a streamer standpoint, because it makes it where we get more viewership, like on our end, because it makes it where people are more likely to come in and watch each stream throughout COTS for each individual drop. But from a viewer standpoint, I don't think it's a super good change, because it makes it where instead of you being able to get the same, like the drops throughout like one day of watching, now you have to watch the individual days of the weekend to get those drops, like the separate ones. So you can only get the Saturday one on Saturday, you can only get the Sunday one on Sunday. I'm not sure of the time span or anything of the cost drops themselves, as in how long they'll be active in the day. But if I'm going off of the normal schedule, normally it will start whenever the Asia server COT starts, which is around 3 or 4 a.m. Eastern time, and then it will end around 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern time whenever the last COTS is done of NA, is normally how it works. But I could be wrong, and they could have the drop starting at like midnight Saturday, like 12:01 a.m. Saturday, and then end at midnight going into Sunday, and the Sunday one starts. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just kind of predict what's going on. Just trying to just do a little feeler, just trying to test stuff out, see how. I'm just trying to guess, you know what I mean? But the first weekend of COTS, I'm not going to be there to cast due to the fact I'm going to be on vacation. But the second and the remaining weekends, I'll be able to cast no problem. Since I'll be back from vacation, I'll be able to have all the fun in the world. Since I'll be back, and I'll be able to cast and, you know, have all the fun. Have all the funds casting like I did last year. So I had a lot of fun casting last year. But yeah. But yeah, as you can see at this point, I tried pushing back into them, and I just got absolutely hammered by their destroyer. Ugh, God, yeah, destroyers, man. They're painful to push into as a battleship unless you have hydro. Super painful. I was trying to do some long-range sniping on this Devesky, but he kept on juking me like a god. It is pretty difficult to snipe super long distances with the against Deveskys. Oh man, good lord, man, I am so tired. I haven't been getting that much sleep recently either, because I've been so like stressed about the trip, and I'm trying to plan everything and make sure everything goes smoothly. And also the family death too. It's just, I don't know, just a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of like prep work to do and a lot of videos to do. So we'll see. But I do appreciate you all, and thank you all for watching and being around the channel. It does mean a lot. Sometimes I do get super busy though, where I'm not able to answer comments for a bit. So I do apologize for that. If you guys ever have any like quick questions you want me to answer, I do stream normally from around 2:30 through about midnight-ish or 1 a.m.-ish Eastern time. So if you have any like quick questions you want me to answer, just hop in there, like hop in the stream and just ask me there. And I can probably give you an answer like right away to whatever you're wanting to know. Unless it's something that I don't know, of course, like NDA information I can't share, or some like things on upcoming events that I haven't been given much information on. Due to how many NDA leaks and such there have been in the past, they're a lot more strict on what they tell us, which is very understandable in the CC program. There's been like a lot more leaks. There've been a lot of leaks and stuff in the past, so they do want to tell us stuff, but at the same time, there's just a lot of leaks that are going on, and they can't tell us stuff ahead of time. Like, they can't give us a lot of information on stuff ahead of time. They usually just give us just enough information to do the video, and then whenever the event's actually out, we can just read the information from the event. So they give us enough information to make a video on, so we make our videos ahead of time whenever the ship is in its final state, and then we just do the then we make the video and such, of course. And that's pretty much how it's pretty much done. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. We have about a minute left in the video. I'm just watching the replay at this point. This replay wasn't the best, but I had trouble finding a super good replay, unfortunately, for this ship. The Mengchong one, I found a replay right away. I had like a good match right away. But for the Louchuan, for some reason, I had some trouble with it. Because I couldn't, like, every time I would play, I couldn't get on the kiting side. I was always on the pushing side, which this ship does a lot better if it's on the kiting side. Like a lot of the British BBs do a lot better if they're on the kiting side. They're not really as good pushing. They still can, but overall they're better at being on the kiting and not the pushing side due to their not having a lot of armor and their HP pools. Yeah, this poor submarine. Rip him, man. Poor fella. But yep, that is going to be it. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you can definitely let me know in the comments down below. But this is Bo, and I will talk to y'all later.
九合诸侯，一匡天下。